This is breaking news.
Behind the scenes with the Best Supporting Actress nominees for the 2025 Oscars. Watch scenes from the performances nominated in the category of Best Supporting Actress at the 97th Annual Academy Awards, as well as interviews with the nominees below. The 2025 Oscars will be presented on Sunday, March 2. In James Mangold's Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, we follow the path of the young singer-songwriter beginning with his arrival in New York City in 1961. Dylan's rise to fame is not immediate, being in the shadow of another star in folk music circles, Joan Baez, Best Supporting Actress nominee Monica Barbaro. But the two soon connect and share a passionate affair, despite Dylan living with another woman, Elle Fanning. In this scene, Dylan and Baez sing a duet of a song in Dylan's notebook. Their easy musical chemistry just might lead to something more. As the film advances, their rocky relationship becomes the subtext of their public performances. In this scene, they sing a duet at the Newport Folk Festival of Dylan's It Ain't Me Babe, a song with hidden undercurrents, in particular for Fanning watching from offstage. Baez would record several Dylan songs, and their relationship continued for a few years. She would later tour with Dylan's Rolling Thunder Revue in the mid-70s, and the two collaborated on projects into the 80s, with their 60s romantic association becoming fodder for memoirs, music treatises, and documentaries. Baez herself recalled her first impression of Dylan in her 1987 autobiography, and a voice to sing with. His eyes were as old as God, and he was fragile as a winter leaf. Barbaro told the Los Angeles Times she understood Baez's attraction to Dylan. She fell in love with the poet, the person willing to say what he was willing to say. I think she fell in love with the words themselves, and how he was saying things she was trying to find the words for, Barbaro said. And they were so young. If I tried to unpack my relationships at 20, I can't imagine that being inspected on a public level for decades to come. To play Baez, Barbaro studied the guitar and took vocal lessons for a year to match Baez's incomparable soprano. Every conversation about Joan's voice, you hear about her vibrato, the key she sings in, and the angelic quality. It was about getting those things so it was recognizable, she told the Times. I leaned into getting as close to her as possible. And on the day, you put the preparation on the shelf and receive the person in front of you in a real, authentic moment. In this interview for Variety, Barbaro, co-star Timothy Chalamet, and Mangold discussed the singing sequences. Barbaro said, "In terms of the music, I mean, it was important to all of us to not have a bunch of sort of carbon copies of these musicians, or any sort of sign of mimicry in the film, and yet they have to be recognizable versions of these musicians." Of the movie's message, how art used to address issues like social justice and war, Barbaro told the Times, "The coolest thing about this film is getting to see audiences who lived then and see them feel like their time was understood." Barbaro studied dance and ballet while growing up in the Bay Area. She graduated from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts and acted in Chicago Justice, The Good Cop, and the Tom Cruise blockbuster Top Gun: Maverick, as Lieutenant Natasha Phoenix Trace. This is her first Oscar nomination. She also received 2 Screen Actors Guild nominations for her performance. Nominated for 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, A Complete Unknown, released by Searchlight Pictures, is playing in theaters and is available via VOD. Based on the long-running Broadway musical, Wicked is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, presenting the origin story of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. What was her relationship with the Good Witch of the East, and how did it turn so bad? The story is told in flashback through Glinda, the ravishingly popular student at Shays University, where the two meet. Initially an outcast, Elphaba attracts the attention of a professor of magic, Madame Morrible, and Glinda finds herself eagerly trying to get into both their good graces for her own advancement. Watch this excerpt of Glinda selling herself as a tutor to her new charge. Best Actress nominee Cynthia Erivo, in the ways of becoming popular. In 2018, Grande appeared alongside the stars of Broadway's Wicked, Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, in a televised concert celebrating the show's 15th anniversary. A Very Wicked Halloween. Grande sang The Wizard and I, which in the show is sung by Elphaba. 3 years later, Grande had her first audition for the part of Glinda in the movie version. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Grande discussed her audition process for